Welcome back to our channel, everyone. Today is a beautiful, slightly cloudy day, which is honestly the perfect mood for diving deep into the absolute chaos happening in Genoa City right now. Grab a coffee, settle in, and let's unravel this massive web of secrets together because there is a lot to discuss. Okay, so I've been thinking about this, and it is literally keeping me up at night. The whole Holden Novak situation. It's weird. Like, really weird. The whole thing is just weird. We have this massive bombshell that Holden is Malcolm Winter's son with Dr. Stephanie Simmons, and it's completely turning the Winters family upside down. But my brain is stuck on one specific piece of this puzzle, and that piece is Audra Charles. Here's what's bugging me. Did Audra actually interfere with Holden's bone marrow donor test results? Wait, let me back up. Actually, no. First, I should mention the medical crisis because that's the catalyst for everything. Malcolm Winters comes back to Genoa City, and he drops this absolute nuke on Lily that he has aplastic anemia. He is desperately in need of a bone marrow transplant, and it has to come from a family member. Lily, being the amazing daughter she is, immediately wants to do it, but she can't. Her past ovarian cancer treatments completely disqualify her from being a donor. I think it was episode 12 or 13. Somewhere around there, when she was crying on Tracy Abbott's shoulder at the Abbott mansion. That scene was devastating. Lily literally said she couldn't save Neil, and now she feels like she can't save Malcolm. It was so heavy. Anyway, the point is, wait, what was the point? Oh right, the desperation. The Winters family is completely out of options. Lily is calling Maddie and Charlie in Los Angeles, just praying someone is a match. And right in the middle of this life or death crisis, Dr. Stephanie Simmons confesses a lie she has been keeping for 3 decades. She tells Malcolm that Holden Novak is his biological son. So suddenly, there's a new Winters in town, and more importantly, a new potential bone marrow donor. Okay, so Holden agrees to get tested. He goes to the clinic. He does the blood work. But his head is completely spinning. He just found out his entire life, his entire identity, is built on a lie. He's sitting at society, probably just staring at a drink, completely overwhelmed. And who shows up? Audra Charles, because of course she does. Audra is like a shark. She smells emotional blood in the water. She tries to pry, asking him what's wrong, but Holden immediately pushes her away. He rejects her. He basically tells her to get lost because he does not trust her after whatever shady stuff went down between them in Los Angeles. But then Claire Newman walks in, and Holden's entire demeanor changes. He completely opens up to Claire. He tells her everything about Malcolm being his dad, about Lily being his half-sister, about the aplastic anemia, the donor test, all of it. He shows Claire this incredibly vulnerable side of himself, and Claire is eating it up. She appreciates his honesty, especially after he previously warned her about Kane Ashby's plot. And here's where my brain starts going down the rabbit hole. Audra didn't just leave society when Holden rejected her. No, she stayed. She lurked around the corner and eavesdropped on the entire conversation between Holden and Claire. The show made a point to show Audra's shocked face when she heard the paternity reveal. But then she supposedly runs off. But then again, that doesn't explain why she would just drop it. Did she hear the part about the bone marrow transplant? Probably doesn't matter, but I noticed the editing there was a little ambiguous. What if she didn't leave right away? Or what if she went to the GCAC later and overheard Lily and Malcolm talking about the test results? Audra is always lurking. She knows everything. So here is my theory, and I know it sounds crazy, but hear me out. On April 10th, the test results come back, and they are negative. Holden Novak is not a match for Malcolm Winters. The news is devastating. Stephanie is pledging to do whatever it takes. Malcolm is starting chemotherapy, and the clock is ticking. But what if Holden actually was a match? What if Audra Charles hacked the lab or paid someone off to change the results to negative? I mean, not exactly hacked, but kind of. Audra is incredibly well connected. She's a corporate schemer. She probably knows someone at that clinic, or she just used her massive bank account to bribe a lab tech. But why would she do it? Let's analyze Audra's motivations, because she never does anything without a selfish reason. First of all, Audra is incredibly jealous and possessive. She hates that Holden rejected her and immediately ran to Claire Newman. If Holden is a match for Malcolm, he undergoes the surgery. He literally sacrifices his body to save a father he just met. Do you know what that makes him? A hero? The ultimate, selfless hero. Claire would fall completely head over heels in love with him. She already likes his protective side, but saving a man's life. That's a one-way ticket to true romance. Audra cannot stand the idea of Holden and Claire being happy together. Changing the test results stops Holden from playing the hero, but it goes deeper than that. Let's look at the Winters family dynamics. Right now, Devin Hamilton and Nate Hastings absolutely despise Holden. They don't trust him. They remember when he came to town using the fake name Damian Kane. They know he used to work for Kane Ashby, and they know he has ties to Audra. Devin literally thinks Holden is a con artist trying to wedge his way into the billionaire Winters family. Lily was starting to defend Holden just because he agreed to take the test. If Holden actually saved Malcolm's life, Devin and Nate would be forced to accept him. He would be permanently cemented into the Winters family. Audra doesn't want that. If Holden becomes a beloved member of the Winters family, and he's dating Victor Newman's granddaughter, he becomes untouchable. He gets powerful allies. Audra wants Holden isolated. She wants him vulnerable so she can control him. Okay, wait. Let me back up. There's an even darker angle here. Blackmail. Audra is the queen of leverage. What if she changed the test results to negative, letting Malcolm believe he's going to die, just so she can use it against Holden later? Imagine this. A few weeks from now, maybe they find another donor. Malcolm is saved by some miracle. Then, Audra corners Holden in a dark room and says, "By the way, you actually were a match. I changed your test results." Holden would be furious. He'd say, "I am going to tell everyone what you did." But Audra, being the absolute sociopath she can be, would just smile and say, "Who is going to believe you? You're the guy who lied about his name. You're the guy with the shady past. If you tell anyone, I'll just say that you paid me to change the results because you were too scared to go through with the painful bone marrow extraction." Oh my god, my brain is literally spinning. That is so evil. It's brilliant but evil. Audra could threaten to frame Holden for faking his own test results. That would completely destroy his relationship with Lily. It would validate all of Devin and Nate's suspicions, and it would make Claire absolutely disgusted with him. Holden would be trapped. Audra could use that threat to force him to keep his mouth shut about whatever dark secrets they share from their time in Los Angeles. It's the perfect trap. But wait, I need to poke a hole in my own theory. Because there is another massive piece of data from the April 9th timeline that completely complicates this. Okay, I know I just said Audra definitely changed the results, but hear me out. Lily was suspicious of Stephanie. Lily didn't fully buy the story that Holden was Malcolm's son. So Lily secretly ordered a second DNA test to confirm the paternity. And the results of that DNA test came back showing that Holden Novak is not Malcolm Winters' biological son. Wait, what? So Holden isn't even Malcolm's kid? The timeline says this reveals a much larger conspiracy behind Holden's arrival and Stephanie's confession. So if Holden isn't Malcolm's biological son, then genetically, he wouldn't be a match for the bone marrow anyway, right? I mean, unless it's a crazy statistical anomaly, non-relatives usually aren't perfect matches. So what does this mean for Audra? Did Audra go through all the trouble of bribing a lab tech to change the bone marrow donor results to negative, completely unaware that Holden wasn't even related to Malcolm in the first place? That would be hilarious. Like, Audra does this massive, evil corporate espionage move to fake a medical document, and the universe is just like, joke's on you, he wasn't a match anyway because they don't share DNA. Or maybe, no wait, what if Audra is part of the larger conspiracy? What if Audra already knew Holden wasn't Malcolm's son? We know Audra and Holden have a history in LA. What if Audra knows who Holden's real parents are? But then why would she act shocked when she was eavesdropping at society? The show made a point to show her looking genuinely surprised when Holden told Claire about Malcolm. So she probably didn't know about the paternity lie. It's weird. Like, really weird. The whole thing is just weird. I keep going back and forth on this. Let's look at the facts. Fact 1. Audra was eavesdropping and found out the secret. Fact 2. Audra hates Holden getting close to Claire. Fact 3. Audra has the means and motive to tamper with medical records. Fact 4. Holden's donor test came back negative. Fact 5. Lily's secret DNA test proved Holden isn't the son. Maybe the two storylines are just colliding perfectly. Stephanie is running some kind of long con, or maybe Stephanie is being blackmailed by someone else to claim Holden is Malcolm's son. Holden finds that box of old letters indicating Malcolm was involved in a serious crime. Right. So there is some dark, historical Genoa City secret happening here. Holden is being stalked and threatened because he's digging into Malcolm's past. What if Audra's interference is just a side quest of evil? She alters the donor test to keep Holden away from Claire, but the larger conspiracy of the fake DNA is what's really driving the plot. I can totally see Audra trying to use the fake negative donor test as blackmail, and Holden just looking at her like, "I'm not even his son, you idiot. The DNA test proved it." That would completely deflate Audra's leverage. But I still think Audra did it. I really do. She's too quiet right now. She's dealing with Noah and Sienna, and she's doing some discreet favor for Sally Spectre probably buying her a pregnancy test. Let's be real, but Audra Charles does not just sit on the sidelines when she gets rejected. When Holden told her to leave him alone at society, he signed his own death warrant. Audra is going to make him pay. And think about the emotional fallout if Audra did alter the test, and Holden actually was a match assuming the second DNA test was somehow faked. Ew, soap opera DNA tests are always faked. If Malcolm dies because Audra changed a piece of paper, that crosses a line from corporate schemer to literal murderer. I don't know if the writers want to take Audra that dark. But then again, Victor Newman just kidnapped Jack Abbott and threw him on a yacht with Patty Williams, so clearly the writers are willing to go fully unhinged right now. What was I saying? Oh right, the test results. Ultimately, Holden is sitting there on April 10th thinking he can't save his dad. Malcolm is starting chemo. Lily is panicking and looking for Maddie and Charlie. And Audra is probably sitting at the GCAC sipping a martini, feeling incredibly smug that she ruined Holden's chance to be a hero. I just can't stop analyzing the psychology of it all. Audra wants to be the smartest person in the room. She wants to hold all the cards, but she's playing a very dangerous game. If Holden's stalker, the one threatening him over the old letters, finds out Audra is messing around with Holden's medical files, Audra might find herself in the crosshairs of a much bigger, much more dangerous Genoa City villain. Anyway, I need to go to sleep. My brain is moving way faster than my fingers can type at this point. To summarize my chaotic thoughts, I think Audra 100% tampered with the bone marrow donor results to keep Holden from bonding with Claire and the Winters family. I think she plans to frame him for it later as blackmail. But I also think Lily's secret DNA test proving Holden isn't Malcolm's son is going to completely blow up Audra's plan and make her look ridiculous. Or maybe not. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens next week. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, because I am officially losing my mind over this show.